Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm very nervous up here, but I'm going to be brave. Today we have a very special performer for you. He has appeared in the Tonight Show, America's Got Talent, Let's Make a Deal, The Comedy Store, The Laugh Factory in Hollywood, as well as the military bases around the world. Please put your hands together and welcome Gary Kurtz.
Can anybody see me up here? Can you see me where you're seated? Can everybody see me? I want to make sure if you can see the jacket. Well, I didn't. Yeah, the garage is gone, but I got this jacket. Well, good evening and happy St. Patty's Day. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Let's hear for you. You made it. As they say, we're all still above ground, right? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Perry Kurtz. I'm going to be your entertainer for a little while, but my show is a little bit different. My show is about you. You are the stars of my show, and you will be in my show. First thing I'm going to do is ask you some questions, simple stuff. If your answer is yes, I want you to go, ee-haw. All right, see, the women like it because women just like to make noises. So on the count of three, we'll have a practice. Everybody go, ee-haw. As hard and as long as you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Everybody. Yeah. Very good. Now remember, if your answer is yes, you go yeehaw. Okay, first question. How many people are seeing me today for the first time? Yeah. Okay. How many have never seen me before? Yeah. How many people are not sure? How many people are here? Yeah. How many people here are over 50? Okay. How many people are over 60? How many are over 70? How many are over 80? How many are over 90? Anybody over 100? How many are just over the dumb questions at this point? All right, now I know what I'm working with. Good. Well, my name is Perry Kurtz. I am an entertainer. I have been a comedian since 1974. So for 42 years, all I've done is make people laugh. And now I'm going to try and get you guys to smile. But laughter is very important. Laughter makes you feel good. People are not aware of this, but when you smile, your body thinks you're happy. It doesn't know, even if it's a fake smile. Just by smiling, you'll feel better. Again, on the count of three, I want everybody to put your hands up, over your head, laugh and smile as hard as you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Look at that, even this lady over here wasn't smiling. Now she's got a big smile on her face. And I'd like to ask this guy to leave right now. That's the power I have. But laughter is important. Laughter does great things for you. Number one, it makes your body feel good. So even if you're having a bad day, just by laughing, your body won't. You can just go. You'll feel better. It helps to get your blood pumping, which is important because if your blood doesn't pump, it's over. And it keeps your brain active. And the most important thing for people our age is to keep our brains going. As I say, if our brain walks, the body will follow. I myself am 66. I just turned 66 in February, and I'm happy that I made it to this age. One of my kids told me, Dad, if you could just live another 600 years, you'll be 666. And I looked at you and said, that would make you the devil spawn, wouldn't it? My name is Perry. That's Perry as in Perry Como, Perry Mason, Perry Winkle. There's actually a very famous singer by the name of Katy Perry. I don't know if you heard of her. She's a woman. I am a man. Don't make me prove that. I proved it last week and she said, oh, you're Jewish. All right, wanted to see who's going to get that one. Thank you very much. There we go. Thanks for cleaning up. We appreciate it. He's taking my career out in that bag with him right now. But as I said, I'm 66. I'm originally from Philadelphia. Anybody from Philly? And he's good right here in the middle. The hand shot up. Your brain works good. Your hand went right up. That's great. Where are you from originally? Boston. That's almost the same as Philly. It's close. And you over there? New York? New Jersey. All right, say New Jersey again.
New Jersey.
Here in New Jersey. That's Brooklyn. See now, people in New York, they have a special way of talking. Especially if they're from upstate New York. They blend their words together. They always sound like they got a piece of food stuck in their mouth. New York is like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. How are you? What's up? People on Long Island, they don't say Long Island. They say Long Island. One word, Long Island. So I'm from Philadelphia. I have my mother and brother back there. My mother just turned 85. And I think she has dementia. Now I'm saying this because I've developed it myself. I forget where I'm going sometimes. I'll be driving. Where I live, the road splits and I know to go left. Sometimes I'll pull up and I have to pull over and I go, I don't know which way to go. So I took a piece of cardboard and I cut out the cardboard L. And I put it on the left side of my dashboard to tell me, go left. I pulled up the other night, I looked at the L and I said, L, I'm lost. But dementia is basically caused by boredom. And let's face it, life gets boring after a while. So keep yourself busy. Now my mother, she's in a small little home they do nothing for. They don't even get meals. And I think she got dementia because I called her up and she says, hello? Hi, Mom. Who's this? This is Perry. Harry. I have a son named Harry. Yeah, Mom, this is Perry. This is your son. Oh, great. Who's calling? Mom, this is Perry. Yeah, my son's name is Perry too. What a coincidence. Can I help you? Mom, this is Perry. I'm your son. Okay. So who's calling? Mom, this is Perry. I have a brother named Victor. You know Victor too? So I've learned to skip past that. Now I go right now and I go, so Mom, did you eat today? And she goes, let me look in the sink. That's important, don't forget to eat. I don't know if you've ever done this. You get up and get busy with your day, and all of a sudden in the middle of the day you're sitting there and you're going, why am I shaking? Oh yeah, food. Try to remember to eat. Our body's like a car. If you don't put gas in it, it stops running. So try to eat. But my mother's good. She's a little tiny woman. She's 4'11". She's had red hair as long as I remember. And it's still red. She says it's naturally red. Yeah, really. Sure it is. Yeah, okay. And I'm 6'9". But all her life, people have told her she looks like Debbie Reynolds. And then when Debbie Reynolds died, she called me up. She said, Debbie Reynolds is dead. Now who the hell do I look like? You look like Bert Barr, Mom. That's you. Yeah, but she's good. She's funny. She's smart. And my brother back there, he's got kids. And I moved out to California to become a comedian in '79. I started in Philadelphia in '74. And when I moved to San Francisco, which is my first place, actually today is the anniversary. It's 38 years that I've been living in California. I moved out here on St. Patty's Day. So this is an anniversary for me. Lived in San Francisco for a while. While I was up there, I bought a motorcycle because there's no parking in San Francisco. It's a little tiny city. So I bought a motorcycle and I put a big trunk on the back of it so I would take my stuff with me when I would travel. But for fun, in white letters on the trunk and the side of the gas tank, I put the word Perry Cycle. Are you getting the joke? My name's Perry Cycle. I actually had people pull up next to me in traffic and go, "Hey, what's a Perry Cycle?" "It's mine." "Your name's Perry?" "Yes, it is." "What are you, a comedian?" "Yes, I am." And they would try to run me over. Then in '89, I got into the Comedy Store in Hollywood. That's what they call a regular. Got to work there. So I moved down here. Got to work with some of my friends, Richard Pryor. I got to meet David Letterman. But back in 1984, in San Francisco, I was having dinner at one of the regular nightclubs with some of the big stars. One of my friends was Bill Cosby. I had dinner with him once a month. But one night, there had two other people that became close friends. A guy named Rodney Dangerfield became one of my best friends, and Milton Berle. Uncle Milty, the sweetest man in the world. Every time I would see him, he would hold my hand between both of his hands. "How are you, Perry? Are you doing okay? Is everything all right?" So when he was in town and would play the Friars Club, he would get me on to do comedy there. And I got to meet Johnny Carson, Joey Bishop, Burt Parks, Phyllis Diller, Joan Rivers. I met all the stars. And whenever Milton was in town, we hung out. So I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of famous people and do comedy all over the world. Then about 7 years ago, I decided that I was going to come out to people who are not coming to the comedy club, you guys. And I thought I would bring some laughter to you. And eventually, some of you might laugh. Okay, just these two right here. That's all right, you're laughing. Did I meet Bob Hope? No, I never met Bob. Never met Bob. But I was really good friends with Robert Williams. We worked out a lot together. He was a good friend. Another thing about me, as I said, I'm 66 years old, and I have been married to the same woman for 26 years in a row. See, I say in a row, because it's LA where, marriages don't last long. And I met my wife on the computer back in 1990. Now, in those days, they didn't have color. They didn't have pictures. You couldn't tell who you were talking to. You couldn't hear them. All you could see were letters. And it was so slow that when you would type a word, the letters had to build themselves on the screen, dot by dot. So I typed my name. She said, "Who are you?" I said, "Perry Kurtz," and went, that was the P alone. By the time I had finished printing on the screen, my wife made a sandwich, ate it, digested it, and went back and made another sandwich. So we talked online for about 20 minutes. She called me, we talked on the phone for 40 hours over 3 days. And I fell in love with her because of her voice. She's from the South. She's got a Southern drawl. Anybody from the Deep South, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi? Anybody from down there? Have you ever heard them talk? They have a drawl. They talk like this. People in the South are not in a hurry. We are in a hurry. We got to get from here to here instantly. Down there, they take their time. They don't just say hello. They say hey. But when they say hey, it's hi! How are you? What's up? And my wife had a favorite saying. Whenever she was going out, she would say, "I'm going over yonder." You ever heard that one? Yep. I've looked at 157 maps. There's no place called yonder. I don't know where she was going, but she always came back. So we went out for 6 months. She was riding around with me on the Perry Cycle, hanging out at the Comedy Store. Got to meet Richard Pryor. It was very nice. Then one day, after 6 months, she says, "Hey, why don't you come to my house?" So I drove out to Van Nuys, and I walk in, and there's a guy, a babysitter, and then there's a little baby girl crawling around on the floor. And a little boy and a little girl in the corner said, "Honey, who are these kids?" And she laughed, and she goes, I guess I forgot to tell you I have children. And I'm standing there looking at the two doors trying to figure out which one is getting me out of the house quicker. You know the old saying, don't get involved with somebody that's got baggage? My wife owns Samsonite. But I got to know the kids. I fell in love with them. After a year and a half, I got down beside the table, I gave everybody a little gold ring, and I looked at them and I said, I'd like to ask the four of you to marry me and be my children and wife. And they all looked at each other except for my son, who picked up some ice cream. He said, great, can we just have our dessert now? Because boys are so romantic. Now, again, by EHAs, how many people here had a fancy wedding? All right, just a couple of people, and they're all on this side of the room, okay? We got married at City Hall in downtown Los Angeles, okay? It's boring, it's gray. The bathrooms here are nicer than City Hall in downtown Los Angeles. I go walking up to the camera, and there's a guy behind the camera. I said, hi, we'd like to get married. He goes, oh yeah, you'd like to get married. I said, no, we'd like to get married. He said, yeah, we can marry you. I go, yeah. I said, so you do marrying here? He said, yeah, we marry. I agreed, all right, we'd be in the corner. We wait when you're ready. You call us. He goes, we call you soon. Sit down, bye. So we're sitting there, kids are playing. All of a sudden we hear, Sarah and Murray, please come in. We walk in, it's the same guy wearing a judge's robe. And now he's speaking perfect English. The accent had gone out the window while we were waiting. So he starts reading stuff, and he finally gets in and goes, now Sarah, do you take Perry to be your lawfully wedded husband? She goes, I do. And he goes, now Perry, do you take these people to be your family? And I said, yeah, I guess so, I'm here, right? Now some of the women are laughing, they're shaking their heads because it was a stupid thing to say. And guys, you gotta be careful. Don't do stupid things, because women remember every stupid thing we do forever. You women never forget. You can be 112, you'll still remember a dumb thing your husband did in 1947. And you save it until we do something else stupid so you can throw it back in our faces. You know why? Because unfortunately, men are idiots. That's why there's more women here than there are men. You outlive us. You do. And the thing is, women have more potential. Your brains can do more than we can. That's why you're able to have a baby. We can barely hold a baby. So I give you women all the credit in the world. We just had, last week we had a Day Without Women Day. Did you hear about that? Where they wanted women not to go to work. And I'm thinking, what kind of a world would this be? I got nothing to do but look at ugly guys. So I'm glad to be alive, but the bottom line is, we are all still here. And you need to celebrate your life. Because getting older is not easy. Remember when you were young and to take a shower, you were thin and your body was straight, all you had to do to wash the soap off was put your hands up? Then you hit 40 and gravity starts pulling your parts down. Now to wash the soap off, you have to lift things out of the way. I did that, I found a wallet under my stomach. Our hair goes gray. Some guys lose their hair. I am thrilled I have all my hair. I have young people ask me all the time, do you dye your hair dark? I go, yeah, I dye it dark and then I spray the gray back into it. Our bodies change shape, our eyes go, we have to get glasses, we have to wear bifocals. I have bifocals and I hate them. When I first got them, I didn't understand how it works. See, the way it works, the bottom lens is for reading, it makes things look closer. And my problem is when I got them, I was tripping going up the stairs. Now it's one thing to fall going down, but when you're going up, you look like this. We have to get special shoes. I have diabetes, I have it under control. Although, every night I have a big piece of dark chocolate before I go to bed. Dark chocolate has less sugar, it's better for you, it has antioxidants, it helps upset stomach, and it will help you sleep. It's actually good for you. So I have that every single night. Trying to eat more greens. And today, speaking of green, happy Irish Day. Happy St. Paddy's Day. I want to thank you again for introducing me and wearing the leprechaun hat. Very nice. A lot of people ask me if I'm a leprechaun because I'm short. People pick on me because they can. But getting older is not easy. Remember when you first got your dentures? Yeah, oh dear. Did you ever do this? 5, 6 weeks after you get them, you're driving somewhere, you're in your car, and you go, oh my God, I forgot to put my teeth in. And what's your first reaction when you do that? You put your hand over your mouth. And that's the way you talk to people for the rest of the day. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. It ain't easy, but you gotta keep active. That's the bottom line. Now, as I said, I married a woman that had 3 kids. And a little over 12 years ago, she gave me the shock of my life. As I said, I lived in San Francisco. I was in comedy clubs all the time. I don't drink any alcohol. I stopped drinking alcohol in 1974, and that's when I became a comedian. So I have not had alcohol. But my wife wanted children. I did not want children because I was a hippie, and I smoked marijuana back in the 70s. And I heard that if you do that drug, or any drugs, it distorts your chromosomes. So I was afraid to have a baby. I thought I'd have a kid that would have like an extra arm and a finger growing out of its head. One day my wife takes me to the bedroom and she says, guess what? So I looked at her and said, what did I do wrong this time? She goes, you did good. I said, really, what did I do? She said, I'm pregnant. This is what I was doing. And then I said, any idea who the father is? She didn't find that funny at all. She goes, don't push your luck, that's one. I go, so you sure it's my baby? She says, I'm positive. Great. I sat down on the bed and I tried to adjust. And I tried to grow into being a father. And I watched my wife grow into motherhood. I watched her grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. She gained 110 pounds. Yeah. She was so round, if you pushed her sideways, she would eventually roll back to a standing position. Then, 5 weeks before the baby was due, she started having horrible pain. The vein in her head was popping out. I rushed her to the hospital. The doctor said, Mr. Kurtz, we've got 20 minutes to get the baby out of your wife, or she's going to die. And I looked at him, I said, can you give me 30 minutes to think about that? He looked at me and said, what are you, a comedian? Yes, I am. He said, well, you can come into the operating room. It's going to be a cesarean, so you're welcome to come in there. So I went, okay. I sat there and I waited. All of a sudden I heard, Mr. Kurtz, would you like to come in? I go into the operating room. Now they got my wife on the table. They got her stomach cut open from hip to hip. And he's got both hands inside of her stomach, and he's pulling parts out like he lost a watch in a drawer. There's no emotional, like, no, that's not it. And he's talking to the nurses about renting cars to go to Las Vegas. No, use Enterprise, take my wallet. I got a discount card, use that. So I actually got angry. I said, hey, do you know what you're doing? He looks at me and goes, this isn't my first rodeo. And I said, great, how many times have you done this? He goes, 3 or 4. I went, what? He goes, 1,000. I said, all right. He finally pulls out my daughter, and he hands her to me, and she was this big, tiny little thing. Now, those of you that have children, I want you to think back when you saw your first baby, and you held that child in your arms, and you looked into those eyes, and you thought, this is the most beautiful thing in the world. It's more beautiful than all the sunsets, all the sunrises, all the roses. It's more beautiful than a pile of cash. And I started to cry, and I'm looking at her, and the doctor comes there and goes, Mr. Kurtz, would you like to cut the cord? And I looked at her and said, she's plugged in? He goes, no, the umbilical cord. And I looked at her and said, you're gonna give me scissors? So they put her on a little table, and he gave me these little blue scissors. Now, I thought it was going to just snip, like, nah, no, it's like steel. So I go to cut this umbilical cord, and every time I squeeze it in the scissors, it squeezes out of the scissors. So I'm chasing it around her stomach. They're laughing, they're on the phone, they're taking pictures, they're calling their friends in. I turn around, there's 27 people in the room watching. They finally came over and held it, and the doctor said, we do that to everybody. I said, you guys are bored, aren't you? He goes, sometimes we have nothing to do. So we took her home, we named her Bella. And just the most amazing thing in my life. I never imagined I could love anything as much. And I remember one night, it was the middle of the night, I got up to go to the bathroom, and I walked back. And as I'm walking through the bedroom, I hear, "Rrrr." And I jumped because I thought it was the devil. You ever hear the devil? He always has someone go, "I'm Lucifer, I'm the devil." I think it would be a lot better if they made the devil sound like Ethel Merman. Came out dancing in a pink jumpsuit. "I'm the devil. There's no business like soul business." So I keep on walking. Then I hear it again. And a smell hit me, and I fell to the floor. My eyelashes burst into flames. I crawled into bed choking. I said to my wife, "Honey, what is that horrible smell that came out of the baby?" She goes, "Oh, it's from the baby food. We give it to him at night and it gets the gases out." I go, "I wish you could have told me. This is my first kid. I didn't know." A couple nights later, we're watching a Disney movie. My wife says, "Listen, I'm going to go watch a cop show." I get a little upset about that because it's a family affair. I thought we should stay together. So I figured I'd get even. So I waited till she was asleep and I ate some baby food. About 30 minutes later, I hear my stomach going. I crawled into bed, I woke her up, I said, "Honey, pull my finger." She pulled my finger around. "Oh my God, what's that horrible smell?" I said, "Baby food, good night." So now my little baby's 12 years old. She's this tall. And I know she's beautiful because when I take her out, women say the same thing. They walk up to me and they say, "Your daughter is so pretty. Your wife must be stunning." Do I get some credit for showing up? I was part of that equation. She even does jokes. Sometimes she does stand up with me. Her first joke she wrote when she was 6. "Why did the chicken cross the road? He was tired of being cooped up." At 7, why was the skeleton afraid to cross the road? He had no guts. At 9, she wrote what they called a closing joke. Why did the rooster cross the road? The chicken was on vacation. Last week she wrote a joke. "I don't understand why Trump is so against immigration. If it wasn't for immigration, he wouldn't have any wives." You can't argue when it's right. That's right. That's called righteous. It's absolutely right. But I love her. But I get it. I know the jacket's cool and all that. I know I look like a baked potato, but unfortunately it's very warm. So as we say in the business, and I don't want the ladies jumping up, I'm going to take it off. Yeah, I love that new sound. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much, girls. Here, I'll do a little dancing for you. That's all I'm allowed to do because some of you just ate. But my daughter is very pretty, and nobody really believes that. Because my wife's an average-looking woman, I'm an average-looking guy. And I figured out why we got a beautiful child. Because God looked down and said, "I've messed with these two enough. I'm going to give them a good-looking kid." So this is Bella. That's my little baby. She's adorable. And we have the most fun together. She is so funny, and I just love being with her. But that's it. Do we have anybody here with children that you know of? You got your kids over there with you? Good. Thanks for coming to see. That's nice. Yeah, I did a comedy show a couple weeks ago, and I said that. Anybody here with kids? Guy raised his hand. I said, "How many kids do you have?" He said, "I got 2. I said, "From different women?" He says, "No, from the same woman." I said, "Wow, in LA, that's like a callback. You get an audition, you get to go back again." Yeah. But the trick is, you gotta laugh at yourself. And humans are the only creatures on the planet that laugh at themselves. You're never gonna see a dog walking down the street, trip, fall on his face and get it go. No, we laugh at ourselves. And if you can't laugh at yourself, don't be afraid to laugh at others as long as you don't hurt their feelings. Let's face it, if a woman falls down in a room, every man will rush over to lift her up. But if a man falls down, every woman in that room will laugh and point. That's just the way we are. As I said, I'm originally from Philadelphia. I go back there every year to see my mom. Philadelphia is the original city, one of the original cities. They consider it advanced, very modern, or as they say, progressive. It's so advanced, but they haven't fixed the Liberty Bell yet. Put a little glue on that thing, a little bit of tape. And people always say, "Are you from New York?" I said, "No, I can speak normally." I was at the Improv in Hollywood, and there was a new comic there. His name was Rocky. He was from New York. He wore a black leather jacket. He thought he was really tough. Now, at that time, I had developed arthritis in my left hip. I was about to get it replaced. And it was really bad. When I would walk, he would actually go. And I was going to get the operation, and I had a nightmare that I was on the operating table. And I heard the doctor say, "Nurse, I think I cut too deep." And the nurse said, "Why do you think that, doctor?" He said, "Because I just scratched the table." Now that was just a dream. That was just a dream, but it was enough to scare me that I put off the operation for 2 years, and I started taking medication for the pain. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called Vicodin. Ever heard of that? Yeah. I was taking 10 to 20 pills a day. It worked. I didn't have any pain. In fact, I couldn't feel anything from my neck down. I didn't know if I was going to the bathroom or not. One time I left the club and I was thanking the guy. I said, "Thanks for having me on the show. I gotta go." He said, "You already did." So this guy Rocky's walking around going, "Yeah, I'm a tough guy. I'm from New York. Yeah, I can handle it." He said, "Hey Rocky, come here." He goes, "What?" I said, "You're a tough guy?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Give me your hand." He goes, "Why?" I said, "Just put your hand on my hip." He puts his hand on my hip. I lifted my leg up and he ran out of the room crying. It's all about how you see yourself. You know, so the bottom line is try to have fun, try and get out of the house as much as you can, and laugh. Now I have a couple jokes about seniors. These do not work with the young people. An older couple walks out of a restaurant. They walk past a wishing well. The husband throws a quarter in the wishing well. The wife throws a quarter in and falls in and drowns. And the husband goes, "Wow, it worked." Wife comes running out. Honey, there's water in the carburetor." He goes, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "There's water in the carburetor." He goes, "There's not water in the carburetor." She goes, "There's water in the carburetor." He goes, "Why do you think that? Where's the car?" She goes, "In the pool." Guy's sitting in a bar, he's crying. His friend walks up and sits down. He says, "Why are you crying?" He says, "My wife and I had a fight." He goes, "What's the problem?" She said she wouldn't talk to me for a month. He goes, "Oh, so what's the problem?" "The month is over." Older couples driving along, they get pulled over by a policeman. Policeman walks up, knocks on the window. The gentleman rolls the window down. And he says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And the driver goes, "Because you're a jerk." Cop goes, "Not a good way to start a conversation." He goes, "I pulled you over because you were doing 65 and a 35. And the man goes, "I was not." His wife goes, "He was too." He goes, "Stay out of this. He was doing 80 before that." He goes, "Will you shut up?" She goes, "You shut up." He goes, "No, you shut up. I'll take care of it. You can't take care of anything." And the officer leans in and goes, "Do you guys always fight like this?" And she goes, "Only when he's drunk." Yeah, but as I said, we're all getting older. Something that bothers me is when people say, "I'm old." We are not old, we're older. Older means you're still getting there. Old means you're done. And I don't like being called a senior. I think we should be called vintage. Because vintage means you've been around, you've been knocked down, you've been fixed up, but you're still going. And that's the bottom line. So whether you're walking, crawling, hopping, you're on a walker, you're in a wheelchair, get out of your rooms, talk to each other. And if you see somebody sitting in the hall and they're looking down at the ground and they don't look happy, just walk over and say, "Are you okay?" You may save a life. That's all it can take. Just be a friend to people. Remember when you moved in here and you went, "Oh great, I don't know any of these people." Now look, you're all sitting at the same table acting like you care about each other. Then you forget. "Oh look, she hugged her." You scared her to death. You go, "What was that?" But that's good. Don't be afraid to interact. Don't be afraid to have fun with each other. You know, I do a lot of these shows. This is what I do for a living. Occasionally I do hospitals. That's a lot different because everybody's in a wheelchair. Some of the people don't even know they're in the room. They've been rolled in there and they don't know they're there. I did one show and there was a guy right in front of me. He was in a big electric wheelchair and it had a platform with a tank here and an electronic thing there. He had a tube in his nose, a hose going into his throat, intravenous in his arms, and electrodes on his chest. And he was looking at me, you could tell he had a stroke because half his face was frozen. He's like this. And I said, sir, are you going to laugh? And he went, eh. So I didn't know what to say. I said, sir, if you don't laugh, I'm going to unplug your machinery. He laughed and he blew the tube out of his throat. Now it had air coming out of it, and he's laughing. And it's flipping around in his face going, shh, and it's hitting him in the face, and he's just going, and the nurses came over and they're trying to tape it back in. They go, sir, don't talk to this gentleman. He goes, shut up, he's funny. And they're trying to tape it back in. Finally calmed down, they taped it back in. And I went on the show. But the problem was, when they taped the tube back into his throat, every time he would laugh, it would whistle. So when I would say something and he would laugh, he would die, the laughter would die down. All of a sudden you're, here, we're done with that, we'll get that out of your way. All right. And how about a round of applause for the people that served you today, that helped you survive and take care of you? Don't forget them. A lady walks into the bar, she's in her late 80s. She basically hobbles into the bar, and she has a parakeet on her shoulder. The bartender says, why do you have a parakeet on your shoulder? She goes, if a man can guess the weight of my parakeet, I will go home with him. So the bartender says, Mabel says, if anybody can guess the weight of her parakeet, she will go home with you. She's standing there for a little while. Guy walks up to her and says, let me guess, 20 pounds? She looks and goes, close enough, let's go. So the bottom line is, try to enjoy yourself. And she's here, ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a round of applause. Here she is. We've been waiting for you. Thank you. We can start the show now that you're here. Took a good bow, very nice. Did you bring anything for me? You have any food, any candy? No, we have food. Did you eat yet? You didn't eat? Do we have an extra food we can slip her? Look at her, she's wasting away. Please feed her. How many people here have a cell phone? Almost everybody? Have you seen kids these days with cell phones? Kids don't talk to each other anymore. In fact, I saw some older people in a restaurant sitting across from each other on their cell phones. And the gentleman's sitting there and he's texting and he starts laughing and he goes, and he goes, Sophie, check your phone. She looks at her phone and she's reading out, and the guy said, she looks up good, ow, this is a funny joke. They don't even talk to each other anymore. You ever seen a kid walking down the street with their cell phone? It's like this. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. They can't communicate anymore. If the cell towers go down, the kids are lost. They don't talk to each other. They're all online, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on MySpace, they're on his space, they're on your space, they're in our space. That's all they know. My daughter's on there all the time too. She's in space. I live in space. I just landed for the show. Now, I like you, you're talking to me. Do you have a birthday coming up this year? You're 80, and when was your birthday? January 22nd, and how old did you become? 80, congratulations. What is your name? Dora, where are you from originally, Dora? Texas. El Paso, you speak very well for Texas. Congratulations. That's great. You love to, I've been there. People are very friendly. You know what Texas is like? In Texas, you pull into the state and the police come up to you and they go, do you have a gun? If you say no, they give you one. Birthdays are very important. Celebrate your birthday, whenever it is. You know why? Because you had another one. You made it to whatever year you are. Anybody got a birthday in the month of February, March? Back there, lady just came in. What's your name, dear? Lillian Wilson. And where are you from originally? Massachusetts. You speak well too. And how old did you become on your birthday? 93. Congratulations. That's great. Well, happy birthday to you, Lillian. Who else has got a birthday back there? I saw some other hands right up here in the front waving her arm around like you're like your little girl in school. Come over here, here. And what's your name, honey? Joe. And where are you from? Chicago. All right, I'll make you feel at home. Give me your money. Were you in the mob by any chance? No. And when was your birthday, or his? This Tuesday. Congratulations. And how old will you be? 73. She hesitated a little bit. She looked at me like this, the eyebrows went up like, I hope he's buying this. 70. Be proud of whatever age you are, because you made it. That's the thing. You got here, be happy. You, dear, what is your name? Martha? All right, I'm talking to her, but I'll talk to you. And when is your birthday, Martha? Last week, and you turned 76. Trombones led the big parade. Congratulations. And this lady in the blue with the sparklies. All right, Irene, where are you from originally? England. Wow, you've lost your accent. You speak rather well. Because English people, they all sink their shoulders when they talk. They all seem to go like this. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Hello. Hi. I'm the Queen. They all sneer. So you speak very good. Well, welcome to our country. Anybody else with a birthday around here? You're having one? When's your birthday? April 1st. All right. Are you sure? Is that a joke? April Fool's Day. Well, that's good. Celebrate your birthdays. I did a show, and a lady this tall comes walking up to me sideways like John Wayne. Comes up to me like this, puts her arm around my head. She says, honey, I love your comedy. Thank you for coming down here. She goes, but listen, my husband's not doing really good. Why don't you come back and visit me in 6 months? And then she kissed me on the cheek. And she laughed, and her teeth fell out. Hi, honey, you gotta go? All right, go ahead, we'll wait for you. Are you really leaving? There's a man sitting in a restaurant, a very fancy restaurant. He's having dinner, and there's a beautiful redhead sitting across from him. She's having dinner. They're both eating. He looks over and she smiles. As she's eating, she sneezes and her glass eye pops out, flies across the room, and he catches it in his hands. And he doesn't know what to do with it. So he gets up and he goes over and he goes, I think this is yours. And she goes, thank you. And she just pops it back and keeps eating. A couple minutes later, she says, why don't you come over and join me? So he sits down and they start having a meal together. They hit it off. They become good friends. She says, listen, let's go out and have a drink and do some dancing. They go out and they drink and they dance. She says, why don't you spend the night at my house? He spends the night with her. The next morning, she brings him breakfast in bed. And he's so easy and he says to her, listen, you're very sweet. Are you this nice to every guy you meet? She goes, no, you just happen to catch my eye. That joke is so sick. I love that joke. That is just so sick and twisted. Oh my God. What happens if somebody gets your teeth? Hopefully they'll wash them off and then return them. Nothing worse than putting dirty teeth in your mouth. Oh, did I eat this last night? Oh, that's horrible. All right, well, I think it's time we kick it up a notch. Now, one of the best things you can do, as I said, is to stay active. You guys got a pool here, over there, swim. It's great exercise, doesn't take a lot. Even if you just walk around in there, it's good for your heart. And your heart pumps the blood, which makes your brain work, which keeps you alive. So don't be afraid to go swimming. Stay active, walk around. Don't lay around in your room and stare at the TV. Remember when it was called the boob tube when we were all around? It's the boob tube. You know why they called it that? They said that if you watch TV too much, you would grow up to be an idiot. I am living proof that it worked. You know, I haven't watched TV in 7 years. I don't even know what's on. That's it. Watch out the window. That's a lot more interesting. Where I'm living now, we don't do that. I moved to a town called Pacoima. You know where Pacoima is? Yeah, I looked it up. It means no white people. When I drive down the street, people point at me and go, And I'm right next to a street called Cagle Canyon Road. It's a little tight, little windy street, and when you drive down it, every once in a while it squeezes your car really hard. That's just for some people that will get that joke. I just had to let that out. In fact, the other night there was something going on in the driveway right next to our house, and I heard cop cars and I heard a police go, pull over, and I go to leave, and as I pull out of the driveway, there's a knock on my window, and the cop says, get out of the car. And I went, okay, I put my hands up, you don't argue, they have guns. And he said, where are you going? I said, oh, well, I'm just leaving, I'm a comedian. He goes, oh yeah, sure you are, everybody's a comedian. He said, did you hear what's happening here? I said, well, I heard a car screech and I heard a police siren, the guy said, get out of the car. He goes, did you see anything? I said, no. He said, did you look out your window? I said, sir, this is Pacoima, you don't look out your window here. He laughed and said, you're safe to go. Let him out. That's it. So I'm living out there now. It's a place, but this is nice. I'm thinking maybe moving out here. This place is beautiful, you guys. How's the food? Food all right? That's important. Don't forget to eat. Again, food's really important. In fact, I'm not even here just to entertain you. I'm actually looking for a place to live. So if anybody knows of an empty apartment, let me know. All right, you guys are taking out the remnants of my act. There we go. Well, isn't it like 55 up here? What's the minimum age? Well, I'm 66, I can move in. Yeah, I'm over it. I'm way over it. Baby, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm so over it. All right, now what I want to do is get everybody going. We're going to do a little bit of singing. Singing is great for your heart, and it's good for your soul. So we're going to start out with a song you all remember called When the Saints Go Marching In. Now, it's a two-parter. You can jump on either part, the beginning or the second part. It's all the same thing. Ready? Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. I wanna be in that number when the saints go marching in. Very good, you did a great job. You were right there with the drums. That was good. You did it. Very good. That's good. Singing's good for it. Sing at any time. Never be afraid to sing. You're in the shower, you're in the bathroom, you're in the car, you're sitting around, just sing. Now here's another song goes back to childhood. Row, row, row your boat. Same thing, two-parter, jump on any part. Ready? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. All right. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Very good, you guys are good. You know what? I think we're going to get together and go on the road. We'll get a bus, and we'll tour, and we'll call it the Geezer Tour. And the young people won't know what it is. They won't have a clue. But it's not for them, it's for us. That's the bottom line. All right, now we're going to really kick it up. We're going to do a little bit more music, and I have a musical instrument. In show business, when you have an instrument that you hang over your arms, it's called an axe. This is called the keytar. It's called the keytar because it's a combination of a guitar and a keyboard. What's great is you turn it on, you hit a button, and you're playing rhythm and blues. You don't even need a band. And you can jam. And when you're done, you hit a button and it goes. Ain't that cool? I bought this in a Ralph's Market 25 years ago. It was over the freezer section. Have you ever looked up there? There are things you never knew existed. I saw an 11-slice toaster. Not 10, not 12. 11 slices. It had 2 sections of 6 and then one more at the top. It's like the guy was drinking way too much, you know? I think I need one more slice, and he put it up there. So I bought this for $25. And it's a lot of fun. It's got great sound. Like, for instance, you ever see a scary movie? You know somebody is going to die when you hear it. Ah! And she trips at that point. That's when she falls down. There's always a woman falling down. That woman gets paid extra just to fall down and get killed. Now we're going to do a song that everybody seems to really like, and it's called Zippity Doo Dah. All right, you guys know your part. Here we go. Zippity Doo Dah, zippity hey. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine coming my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual what? Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Oh, wonderful feeling, wonderful day. Here for you. Oh, you guys, you're the best crowd I've worked to today in this room. You really are. Thanks for getting it. Any questions so far? How many people are still here? How many still don't know where you are? How many still don't care? Anybody need to go to the bathroom? Yeah. When I had my hip operation, they hit a nerve, and now I have to wear plastic pants. I'm not ashamed of it. To me, it's a relief because it doesn't matter what I'm doing. At any time I can, wait a minute. Okay, at any point I can just keep on going, so it's kind of a relief. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up with a song you may or may not remember. It goes back to the 60s. It's called Louie, Louie. Now, nobody knows the actual lyrics of the song because the guys were really drunk when they recorded it. So the part you get to sing is Louie, Louie, oh baby, we gotta go now. Ay, 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 ay. Louie, Louie, oh baby, we gotta go now. The rest of the song, I'm gonna make up. So here we go. Well, check this out. She just turned around her chair. I guess she finally wants to see from there. You were sitting there, you were turning your neck. I guess it started to hurt. You said, hey, what the heck? Now see, I'm not singing. I'm doing what they call rap. A lot of people just don't get that. Rap is just singing, but you don't use a tune. You put it together and you hit it to the moon. A Louie, Louie, oh the song. Oh, baby, oh, we gotta go now. Hands up, come on. I said oh, baby, we gotta go now. God, you guys are great. Well, check this out, you all raising your hands to me. That's great, it's important to me. I'm up and trying to do this stuff and do it in time. And it really doesn't matter what I say at the beginning because I always seem to make this stuff rhyme. It comes out, I got no idea, then you just turned your head. You looked at me, you looked back at her, and then you looked back at me instead. And now she's sitting up and she's banging her hand on the arm of the chair. And do you understand? See, this is what I do, and this is what I say. And guess what? You guys can even play. It's just a conversation. Just go along with the thought. This is what I said, and that's what I thought. I said, oh, baby, we gotta go now. I said, oh, baby, we gotta go now. Well, I want to thank you all for coming down for the party. It's celebrating now. Remember, it's St. Patty's Day. Some of you may be drinking. If you are drinking, remember there's other people drinking and driving. So if you're driving, drive as fast as you can. It's harder for them to hit you. Whatever you do, keep on living. Never give up. They have found that when people give up, that's when it's over. You want to keep going? There's always more in your life. Never give up, never give up, never give up the ship. Bottom line. I don't know what movie that's from. Somebody, everybody's heard it. They don't know what it's from. It was, I don't know, Mutiny on the Bounty or something like that. All right, now I'm going to do my big closer. This is a thing I call karaoke. I did this on Extreme Gong. I may be doing it on the new Gong show this summer. Remember, I'm a trained professional. Do not try this at home. Here we go. My name's Kurtz. Thank you for being here. Happy St. Patty's Day. Take care.